You have accessed the Welcome Video on Demand. This is video number 2 of 9 VODs. This pre-recorded video features the following: Historical Welcome by Mayor Kelly Burk from the town of Leesburg. Thank you for attending virtually. Look for the entire MLK Leesburg program out on YouTube or Facebook.
We'd also like to thank our title sponsor, CVent, for the powering of our registration site and our broadcast today. It is now my pleasure to introduce our next segment, starting with the Honorable Kelly Burk, Mayor of the town of Leesburg. And we'd like to thank you for your continued support across the years.
Hello, my name is Kelly Burk, and I'm the mayor of the town of Leesburg. And I'm very excited to be part of the MLK March today. We're doing it a little differently because of COVID, but I want to thank Tammy and her team, Tammy Carter, for all the hard work they put together to making sure this still happens. This is an important event, and we're very excited that it's going to be here in Leesburg. For those of you visiting Leesburg, welcome to the largest, and I would say the best town in the Commonwealth of Virginia. To those of us who live here, thank you for making Leesburg your home, and this town such a rich, diverse, historic place that it is today. Thanks to all the national, state, county, and local leaders who are here today, and many of whom represent first-time accomplishments, such as the first African-American woman judge in Loudoun County Courts, Miss Lori Sinclair, the first African-American chair of the Board of Supervisors, Miss Phyllis Randall, the first African-American man elected to the Board of Supervisors, Karan Sains, the first African-American teacher elected to the Board of Supervisors, Supervisor Sylvia Glass, while Leesburg elected its first African-American to the town council in 1976, John Tolbert. It was not until 2015 that we appointed an African-American woman to the council, Vanessa Maddox. The Leesburg Town Council has many achievements in the areas of equality to be proud of today and always, and there's still much to do. We have a history of strong Black community that we are proud of here in Leesburg, but we were also the site of at least 2 historic lynchings of young Black men. Leesburg's history is filled with successes and achievements, along with fatal failures and dismal disappointments. The history of the African-American Leesburg community is a rich and significant part of Leesburg's history. Places like the 3 brick Loudoun courthouses, dating from 1761, 1811, and 1895, have served Loudoun County on the same site. Slave auctions were once held on the steps. Today, the building is recognized as its role in the struggle for freedom and equality. The National Park Service designated Loudoun County Courthouse as an Underground Railroad Network to Freedom Site because of 2 freed Black men, Leonard Grimes and Nelson Grant, and they were tried here for helping women and children escape from slavery. In 1883, African Americans petitioned for their rights, and 50 years later, Charles Hamilton Houston, the first African American attorney to argue a major case in the Southern courtroom. Houston became known as the man who killed Jim Crow, as his legal strategy led to the Brown versus Board of Education and the Supreme Court decision that segregated schools were not equal. Its history includes the Black-owned businesses that once flourished in the buildings now occupied by the Loudoun Museum. In the 1920s, Nathan Johnson operated a butcher shop that later became a restaurant called the Dewdrop Inn. Patrons climbed the stairs in the back to visit the beauty shop or the doctor. Other buildings that stood along that block were Black-owned businesses also. We have many historic sites and a lot of history pertaining to the African American community here in Leesburg. We are very proud and want to always remember and honor our background and our ancestors and our history. While history sometimes fills us with despair, it is the truth of understanding history that'll make us free. It's important that we take Leesburg's history and make it one of unity and understanding. Today is a day of remembrance. It's a day of celebration, but it's also a day of action. It's a day of service. Let's make Leesburg be the example that other localities will look at too and come forward and serve their communities. Thank you for being here in Leesburg today, and have a good celebration.